this guy is a great guy. He's extraordinarily humble. He's so humble, he really doesn't like me to use his name when I tell the story. So let's just call him Fred, okay? And that'll help me because that is his real name, and so I won't screw up by saying weird names all the way through. Fred is an Olympian, and Fred's event is the decathlon, the 10 events, 5 each over a 2-day period. He's my age, so we have to go back in time on this. So if you're an Olympic trivia buff, you'll love this story. We have to go all the way back to 1976. Bruce Jenner won the gold medal for the decathlon. Everybody remember Bruce Jenner? You know? All right. And Fred was Bruce's roommate that year. He was the heir apparent. He was still young. It was Bruce's year. They knew that 4 years from now, Fred would probably peak, and it would be his for the taking. And sure enough, in 1980, by all accounts, my friend Fred was ranked as the #1 decathlete in the world. Now, if you are really a good Olympic trivia buff, what happened to the U.S. team in 1980? We boycotted, right? President Carter said, nope, not this year. We're out of here. And so Fred's window of opportunity completely shut down. And you know from other sports, an athlete has such a small period of time where they can really make it happen. He was about 30 years old in 1980, so they figured 4 years from now he'll be 34. The press immediately started calling Fred the granddaddy of decathletes. So we fast forward 4 years. We're living in Southern California, and Fred says to me one day, he says, you know, I really thought it was over, but the Olympics are going to be in Los Angeles in 1984, including the trials. He says, I think I'm going to go try out for the team. I mean, what do I have to lose? I don't have to buy an airplane ticket. I don't have to buy a hotel. I just got to jump in my Volkswagen Beetle and drive up to the LA Coliseum and come back. What do I got to lose? I said, Fred, that's great. He said, well, I'm telling you because I want you to kind of pray that, you know, I don't embarrass myself. And more importantly, I don't embarrass my wife and my boys. I mean, I just want this to work out well. I said, you got it. I'm praying for you, man. You do it. So he goes off. And we don't hear anything all day Thursday. Now, I got to remind you, this is 1984. There's no email. There's no texting. You know, there's like dinosaurs still roaming the earth, all right? So we wait all day Thursday to hear something. Finally, he calls on Thursday night. He says, you guys must be praying big time. You won't believe what's going on. I said, talk to me, man. What's happening? He says, well, not only did I not embarrass myself, but after the first 5 events, I'm in first place. And we're like, all right, that's super. Friday will be a great day. Just go for it. We're praying for you. Yeah. So we have to wait all day Friday to hear the rest of the story. He goes in Friday morning, competes in the first event, which is the 6th event, and he drops to 4th place. 7th event is either the discus or the shot put. It's one of those throwing in the circle thing. I think it was the discus. And you get 3 throws. They take your best throw. First throw, he spins around, throws that thing. It's looking pretty good. But he falls out of the circle. That's called a foul. You get no points for that. So his coach takes him aside. Okay, Fred, just relax. You're a little uptight. You know, just do what you normally do. You'll be fine. Second throw, another really good throw, and another foul. He falls out of the circle. His coach is beside himself. He's like, Fred, I don't know what's going on, but if you get 0 points, you're done. So I'm suggesting this last throw, just stand there and let it go. I mean, don't just get it out there so we can get some points. Well, part of why I love Fred is there's no first gear with Fred. He said, nope, I'm doing it. And he spins around, and folks, he threw it farther than he's ever thrown it in his career. And he fell out of the circle. And it was over. He kind of half-heartedly goes through the 8th and the 9th event, and he comes to that 10th, that grueling 1,500 meters. And somehow, in the LA Coliseum crowd, he finds his wife before the 10th event, and he says, come on, we're going home. This is ridiculous. There's no way I can win. Let's just get out of here. So he grabs his wife, they get in their Beetle, and they go putting along the 5 freeway in Los Angeles in the middle of rush hour traffic on a Friday night. Drive all the way back down to Orange County in complete silence. And they get almost home. If you know L.A., they're at the Knott Avenue exit of the 91 freeway, okay? And all of a sudden, he blurts out to his wife, "I got to go back." She says, "What?" He said, "I got to finish." She said, "What are you talking about?" He says, "I'll never be able to tell my sons they got to finish something they start if I don't do it myself." And bless his heart, I think this is the real reason he doesn't want me to say his name. He pulls this illegal U-turn on the 91 freeway, and he starts putting back up to the Coliseum. And he gets in just as they're assigning lanes in the last heat of the 1500. And he runs in, and the officials are all gathered. You know, is there any rule that says you can't go home between the 9th and 10th event? And then I guess not. Boom! He gets his lane, and boom, the gun sounds, and he's off. And the crowd somehow is like fully aware of what's going on. And bless his heart, dear Fred, he had given it all in the previous 9 events, and with the extra adrenaline in his whole, he's like dead last for the entire race. But only in L.A., folks. It's 1984. The #1 movie at the box office is Chariots of Fire. And somebody gets the soundtrack up to the loudspeaker, and they start blaring Chariots of Fire as the entire crowd stands to its feet as my friend Fred officially comes in 33rd place out of 33 decathletes. The place goes nuts. The press just swarms him. I mean, I can't imagine. The poor guy that won the race, he's like, you know, does anybody want to talk to me? I'll answer questions. Nobody cared. They all wanted to talk to the granddaddy of the decathletes. And it's probably the best illustration I can think of for what the Bible says when it talks about what a winner is really all about. And it's this phrase: the last shall be first.